Delta Psi Omega Risk Management Policy. All existing and prospective members of the Alpha Chapter of Delta Psi Omega sorority, hereafter referred to as Delta Psi Omega or the chapter, have the right to be treated with dignity and respect. Delta Psi Omega was founded against hazing. Hazing has been prohibited in Delta Psi Omega since the organization's founding in 1994. As such, hazing will not be tolerated in any form. The risk management policy of Delta Psi Omega includes the provisions that follow and shall apply to all sorority entities and levels of membership, to include new members, chapter members, both active and inactive, hereafter referred to as chapter members, and alumni. Alcohol and drugs. Risk! 1. Possession, sale, use, or consumption of alcoholic beverages while on chapter house premises or during a sorority event in any situation sponsored or endorsed by the chapter, or at any event an observer would associate with Delta Psi Omega, the United Greek Council, or Southern Utah University, is prohibited. Southern Utah University is a dry campus. Therefore, all affiliated organizations and events hosted by those organizations will have no alcohol present. 2. No alcoholic beverages may be purchased through or with chapter funds, nor may the purchase of same for new members, chapter members, alumni, or guests shall be undertaken or coordinated by any member in the name of or on behalf of the chapter. The purchase or use of a bulk quantity or common sources of alcohol beverage, for example, kegs or cases, is prohibited as per Utah State Code 32A-12-2062. 3. No new members, chapter members, or alumni, collectively or individually, shall purchase for, serve to, or sell alcoholic beverages to any minor, those under the legal drinking age as defined by the state of Utah. The chapter recognizes the right of individuals of proper age and with proper identification to consume alcohol on non-chapter house premises and will not make nor support any policy restricting such right, as long as the individual is non-violation of Item 1. 4. The possession, sale, use, or consumption of any illegal drugs or controlled substances while on chapter house premises during a sorority event, in any situation sponsored or endorsed by the chapter, or at any event an observer would associate with Delta Psi Omega, the United Greek Council, or Southern Utah University, is prohibited for the Constitution of Delta Psi Omega, Article 2, Section 2, Item 4, and Article 7, Section 2, Items 5 and 6. 5. Delta Psi Omega will not co-sponsor an event with an alcohol distributor or tavern at which alcohol is given away, sold, or otherwise provided to those present. This includes any event held in, at, or on the property of a tavern for the purpose of fundraising. However, the chapter may rent or use a room or area in a tavern for a closed event held within the provisions of this policy, for example, Royal Orchid Cotillion. 6. All recruitment or rush activities associated with Delta Psi Omega will be non-alcoholic. All chapter members of Delta Psi Omega will support the United Greek Council's decision to observe a dry rush. Dry rush will be enforced beginning at midnight on the first day of Greek Rush Week and will end on Saturday at noon following the distribution of bits. No recruitment or rush activities associated with Delta Psi Omega may be held at or in conjunction with a tavern or alcohol distributor as defined in this policy. 7. No new member, chapter member, or alumni shall permit, tolerate, encourage, or participate in drinking games as defined in this policy. 8. No alcohol will be present at any new member program, activity, or ritual of the chapter. This includes, but is not limited to, activities associated with midnight, big and little sister events or activities, family events or activities, and initiation. New member classes will not be encouraged or required to plan or attend a post-initiation party. Hazing. Risk! No new members, chapter members, or alumni shall conduct or condone hazing activities. Permission or approval by the person being hazed is not a defense. Hazing activities are defined as any action taken or situation created intentionally, whether on or off sorority premises, to produce mental or physical discomfort, embarrassment, harassment, or ridicule. Such activities may include, but are not limited to, the following: use of alcohol, paddling in any form, creation of excessive fatigue, physical and psychological shocks, road trips, or any other such activities carried on outside or inside the confines of the chapter house, wearing of public apparel which is conspicuous and not normally in good taste, engaging in public stunts and buffoonery, moral, degrading, or humiliating games and activities, and any other activities which are not consistent with academic achievement, the values and ritual of Delta Psi Omega, the Constitution and bylaws of Delta Psi Omega, and the regulations and policies of Southern Utah University and the state of Utah. Sexual abuse and harassment. Delta Psi Omega will not tolerate or condone any form of sexist or sexually abusive behavior on the part of its new members, chapter members, or alumni, whether physical, mental, or emotional. This is to include any actions, activities, or events, whether on chapter house premises or an off-site location, which are demeaning to women or men, including but not limited to verbal harassment and sexual assault by individuals or members acting together. Fire, health, and safety.
Ow!
Risk! 1. The Delta Psi Omega Chapter House shall meet all local and state fire codes and health standards. Any and all violations of said standards should be immediately reported to the chapter president and the property's manager or landlord. 2. The chapter shall post by common phones emergency phone numbers for fire, police, and ambulance, and shall have posted evacuation routes on the back door of each sleeping room. 3. The possession and or use of firearms, explosives, or incendiary devices of any kind within the confines and premises of the chapter house is prohibited. 4. The use of candles and incense in the chapter house or individual rooms shall be at the discretion of the property's manager or landlord. 5. The chapter president shall, as one of the duties of her office, become certified in CPR and basic first aid. A first aid kit shall be located in the prominent location within the chapter house and shall be available at all chapter activities occurring at off-site locations. 6. Actives and new members of Delta Psi Omega are prohibited in participating in any type of prank war with any other organization. Education. Risk! Delta Psi Omega makes every effort to fully disclose its risk management policy. A copy of the risk management policy shall be available to all RUSH participants and will be read audibly as part of the RUSH agenda. The chapter shall biannually instruct its new members and chapter members in the risk management policy. All new members shall receive a copy of the risk management policy at the time that a bid is accepted and immediately upon revision. All chapter members shall receive a copy of the risk management policy annually and immediately upon revision. In addition, a copy of the policy shall be prominently displayed at the Delta Psi Omega chapter house. Policy violations. Any individual or group violation of Delta Psi Omega's risk management policy should be immediately referred to the Executive Council and will result in disciplinary action as detailed in Article 7 of the Constitution of Delta Psi Omega. In addition, violations may result in official discipline by the United Greek Council, Southern Utah University, and the state of Utah.